What's going on? Oh, I will start yawning. As soon as I pull out the camera, I start yawning. Fuck. So, today we're gonna have a talk. Short talk. While I smoke this cigar. So, he said Columbia deserves to never see you again. Big fucking deal. Did you not hear me whenever? Wait, what do you mean by that? First of all, I don't think that's. I think that's meant to be offensive. That interview with Green Eyes is going viral. Where else did y'all see it out? See it at? It's on Facebook doing rounds. Somebody sent it to me. I can't see it. They don't deserve your president. Oh, okay, sorry. I thought you were saying it like the Colombians were better than me or something. So yesterday, and I told this story on Patreon, but I'm gonna give a sample of it here. Yesterday, I was at the gym and I met this chick. Turns out she was a Colombian living in Peru. And we went on a date. My Spanish did not sound like English to her. We had no issues communicating at all. Maybe a few words. Maybe I had to pull out the translator to translate a word that I didn't know every 30 or 40 minutes, but not once did she think the words I was saying was in English when they were indeed Spanish. So that was good. Now, he said, thank God you're alive. Yeah, so we went on a date. She kept giving me the eye. She had a twinkle in her eye. And long story short, your boy was laid up for like 12 hours. No bullshit. So, if you want to know the full story, it's on Patreon. But that's three days in a row. And this is pretty much my last night here. Why does that happen? Why does that happen? Towards the end of the trip, now all of a sudden the choosing signals come out the window. Why is that? Is it an energy thing? And then she told me she would cook. Peru is paying off, just takes patience. Yeah, that's what I was saying when I first got here. Like when I noticed that there were some beautiful chicks, but you had to move around, I instantly knew, okay, this is a place where, since there's not as many attractive chicks as there are unattractive chicks, you have to be here. And you have to, because that means the ones that are attractive are super high demand and they're not going to just be dropping to your lap. Like in Brazil, there's so many attractive chicks, they're going to be dropping to your lap because too many left over. Too many extra. He said he gonna miss Peru when he's back in Dallas being flaked on by chicks who put their number in his window screen. Yeah. I don't know if you guys remember the story I told you guys about the girl that left a note on my car telling me to call her because she had been closing my trunk. She told me to call her because she had been closing my trunk. Gave her number and put a smiley face. Couldn't get her on a date. Couldn't get her to answer the phone. That's where I'm going back to. And I seen her. The thing is, we lived in the same apartment complex. Matter of fact, the same building. So I seen her again, right? And she act like nothing happened. Inspired Truth Podcast. Inspired Truth Broadcast. $20 super chat. Shout out from Houston. 11 million views on X. That's crazy. Congrats. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Yes, we maxed out what looks like maxed out at 11 million views. So, she got other dudes probably. Yeah. Which, here's my thing. The chicks in Brazil got other dudes too. But the way how they move is not like that. Like, I never encountered that. That's really only the states where I encountered bullshit like that. Now, the closest I may have gotten to that was Argentina, where Dr. Durden will discuss that in the Discord. Argentina was a place where they were flaky. But that was just the culture. They see in the United States it's just bullshit. Like, it's like I don't even think they know why they do that. He said, but respectfully show us the proof. Where is she at? At the gym. She said she didn't want to be on my channel. $11 million views on YouTube would be like 100K. It depends, right? For the, like, let's say some people get paid a rate of 1 million views is $5,000. So if you do that times 11, you're talking about $55,000, which is still a lot, but it depends. There's no set price for YouTube payments. She gave you an invite to give free attention. What do you mean? Oh, yeah. The girl with the note on the car, yeah. So you guys seen in Colombia that they are cracking down what appears to be dudes that are going down there to mess with children, which I hope most of my subscribers or all of my subscribers are not doing that, but it's real. But in Medellin, there is a number of xenophobia. I keep trying to tell you guys, B-Dub is trying to tell you guys, they don't want y'all in Medellin. They really don't. Like, you don't really feel like they want you there either. Like, I don't get, they're just tolerating you there. Okay, these guys are spending money, you know, but they're here. Right? Versus when I was in Chile, they really were like, hey, like, what do you know, they want to show you shit. You know, Uruguay, they're excited. They want to show you stuff. And get away from is this shitty internet they have here in Peru. Shit is fucking crazy. But anyway, they've had so many foreigners down there that they're tired. He said Colombian parents have literally sold their children to foreigners. And I don't agree with them either, right? Y'all are out there protesting some shit that y'all built for people to come enjoy. That's like Pattaya, right? Pattaya is a red light district. And then they say, go home, foreigners, go home. No, you talk to your fellow citizens about these businesses that they started. So Colombians need to. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Dr. Durden. I said Medellin. That's what I said. But hell, I didn't even feel like that in Cartagena. I didn't feel. Hell, it seemed like Cartagena they had open arms to you just to fuck you over. Like they opened their arms with a stab in the back intent. Now Cali, it seemed that they were actually happy that you're there, and I'm assuming other smaller cities, but or less visited cities. But Medellin and Cartagena, no. But Medellin, number one, prostitution is legal there. That's y'all's first mistake. Number two, you have businesses dedicated to prostitution. Number three, they are promoting for more people to come there. And what do you think those people are going to do when they get there? So they have to take some accountability too. It's not Gringo's country. This is your country. You guys need to control your country. We're not controlling your country. Did I find Peruvians welcoming? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. That's we got 11 million views on the video. Gringos raised the cost of living in Medellin. That's the root cause of tension. Thank you for the super chat. I could agree with that. But my thing is, again, it's just like women with feminism, right? They wanted birth control, they wanted sexual liberation, and then they want to talk about all dudes doing is pumping and dumping them. You created the environment for that. So they created the environment for that, and now they want to blame it on us. I mean, I'm not a Medellin guy anyway, but they want to blame it on other, they want to blame it on foreigners. It's not the foreigners' fault. The foreigners, they can only do what you let them do. Austin, you are the social media king. Thank you very much. I tell you what, I have so many controversial videos that I have not dropped. I'll drop on Twitter, see how they do. Then I'll drop them on Instagram, see how they do. Then drop them on. I'm constantly trying to keep myself in some controversy because that's what I'm good at. That's what I like. I like people trying to leave stupid comments to justify shit. Like, there's some guy that was like, this dude is really stupid, right? He's like, oh, come on, man. You Americans, don't you think, do you think you could walk around the United States and film people in public? Yes, you fucking idiot. You can film the police, dumbass. That wasn't, I wouldn't even say nice. That wasn't even a nice try. That was a stupid try. Yes, you can film in public in the United States. The United States is one of the best places to film. Like, there's almost nothing. We have Floyd. Floyd is a guy that shows you that you can film. Yeah, Dan Sparks says here in Thailand, the foreigners show. I mean, the foreigners control the narrative. Yeah, I mean, not the foreigners, the Thais. If you don't want people practicing sex tourism in your country, don't create the environment. Cool Cat said, I need to send you 3,000 so you can hit Guyana. Guess what? After Dallas, I'm going back to Paraguay. If you send me $3,000, I promise to God we will be in Guyana. Send it to me. My Zell's at the bottom, my Cash App, my PayPal. It's probably best you send it through Zelle because I'm going to get 100% of the money. Or Cash App, yeah, or Cash App. PayPal will fuck it over. He says some people will give you shit for filming, including the police. Yeah, I mean, it's everybody's right to feel like, oh, don't film me. But is it legal for them to harm you for filming them? Is it illegal to film them? No. Floyd showed you that. Floyd's entire channel shows you that you should be able to film. Yeah, they can give you shit. He said Colombians don't want people walking around filming for obvious reasons. But again, my video, if you guys go look at that live stream, I said more than one time I was not trying to be around prostitutes. So I had every intent just to film people walking around, but I wasn't there to film drug dealers or prostitution. Prostitution is legal there, so that shouldn't be a problem. If you don't like the, if you don't like, here's why I have no sympathy for that, right? Thailand is a place where prostitution is legal and it's heavy, right? And it's heavy, right? How many YouTubers are damn near about to get assaulted by 3 dudes for filming in Thailand? You know how many, and guess what? There's areas in Thailand where there are prostitutes. You know what they do when they see you? They cover their face. But there's nobody, unless if you're just directly like, hey, you know, I'm gonna put you in the camera anyway, which I wasn't doing that. There's nobody that's gonna come up to you and try to make it seem like they about to press you in what he was pressing me, right? That's not gonna happen. Chase sent $20 for the trip. Thank you very much for the Cash App. But yeah. He said you have to adjust to the country area and there are different rules. No, I don't. I can just leave. Oh, actually, you know what? Prostitution is illegal in Thailand. And they still don't. And you would think in Thailand, if it's illegal, right, that they would be tripping about, oh, put the camera up or we're going to beat your ass. That would be a more logical location for them to do that because they are doing something illegal. But in Medellin, in Colombia, it's not illegal. So the fact that somebody would basically use violence against you for recording is crazy. That's like me selling lemonade on the side of the street. I'm about to damn near pull out a knife on somebody because they record me selling. I don't want to be on there. Cash App is $ Austin Holloman. I've never used minoxidil. I've never cut my beard that short again because I got bumps growing in my beard now. Since I cut it down to that 5 o'clock shadow, my skin has been bumping up underneath my beard here. Sent the $20 for the trip, my boy. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for the Cash App and the Super Chat, PJ. What's your ultimate goal with this? To continue doing what I'm doing? I don't think it's a race issue. He said, don't leave it in a huff. Adjust and have some control on how you move. No, fuck that advice. I'm not, if my career is to vlog, I'm not gonna adjust to a country where I can't vlog. I'll just get the hell out of there. There's damn near 200 countries. I'm not gonna switch up my entire career for a place where they don't even fucking want you. Again, I've always said this. Medellin and Cartagena do everything to deter fucking tourists from coming here. Bounce Frog sent $20 on Cash App. Thank you very much. They don't do stuff to encourage tourism to come there. Anytime your country is on a level 3, reconsider travel, I don't think that's a tourist-friendly place. You know what I mean? He said it's about respect. If it's disrespectful to record in a public area where tourists are supposed to be at, I'll get the fuck out of there. There's nothing. There's no other convincing you can convince me other than to leave. I have the power to leave. I can leave when I want. I'm not from there. I don't have to stay there. I get the fuck out of there. It's better places. You think Fresh and Fit should become a passport, bro? No. They should stay in the United States. They're doing just fine there. They already went to Colombia. That's enough. What cities would you consider living in Latin America? Asuncion, Paraguay, Montevideo, Uruguay, Santiago, Chile. I haven't even been to Villa del Mar, but I would go there too just off looking at it. And the people I know that have been there. Here, Lima, Peru, I could stay here for an extended period of time. Buenos Aires, Argentina, I could stay there too. I wouldn't like the cold in these places, but I could stay there. I think you would like Bogota, dress warm. I think so too. If the nomad capitalist likes it, it can't be as like a shithole or super hostile towards foreigners. I didn't see the Asian chick that he got pregnant. I heard that she was Asian, but I didn't see her. Chile does have one of the strongest passports. I think Argentina is behind theirs. Brazil, Chile, Argentina, Brazil. Nicaragua, surprisingly, too. But I'm working on, and here in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I'll be working on my first passport. Of course, it won't happen this year or next year, but I'm starting my process, which is getting residency in Paraguay. And then I'm going to get one in Uruguay as well if we want to talk about Latin America. Not Uruguay, Chile. I have mid fade. I'm smoking a Peruvian cigar. This is one of the better Peruvians. The other one I had made me feel like shit. Get that light off. Austin and never coming back just to visit. I'm just visiting the States. Smoking is bad for your lungs. You're not the first person to tell me that. They've been telling me that since I was a kid. I am very well aware of what smoking does. Chase is my real name. I sent $20 for the trip, but Austin, check it out. I booked Cartagena and Medellin to leave end of June. I'm staying 12 days. You think it's a mistake to go? I want to see it. Cartagena and Medellin. I'm not going to tell you not to go. I'm not going to tell you. It's a blessing to be able to go anywhere, right? It's a blessing to be able to go to Cartagena, Medellin. The fact that you can go on vacation. I would say Cartagena over Medellin. Like the foreigners in Cartagena at least seem more. It's a better tourist destination, I would say. But Cartagena seemed more dangerous than Medellin. Like Medellin, there was a lot of places I could go further into the city in Medellin and not feel like I'm about to die. Cartagena, nah, no. You're better off going to Cali, but it'll be boring. Like there's not really much to see in Cali. That's a place that you go sit down. Like you actually go live in Cali. I was with what chick on the bike? Yeah, Medellin is not for. It's not for us. Like, go to somewhere like Cali. I've been telling you. I keep telling you guys. I heard Cali is limited action. Thank you for the super chat, PJ. I had some good. I had some good experiences in Cali. I went on plenty of dates. Well, I went on more dates here in Lima. I was here longer though, but I went on plenty of dates. I had a really good time there. But I keep telling you guys about. He said too much male competition. No, it's just not worth it, bro. It's dangerous as fuck in Medellin and Cartagena. You got to worry about getting scoped. You got to worry about somebody playing a long game and then scoping you and fucking kidnapping you. You got dudes on motorcycles rolling around robbing people. You got xenophobia. You got people that think Spanish sounds like English. I mean, it's just a number of shit I can go down. It's not worth it. But I keep telling you guys, go to the south of South America. Not right now. It's relatively cool, and it wouldn't be ideal. Like, I don't want to be down there right now. Like, Chile is at a time of year where it's hot, cold, hot, cold. I don't really want to be around that. Uruguay is cool. Argentina's cool right now. I don't really want to be nowhere like that. But those places are a lot safer. And they are a lot friendlier towards foreigners. I would even tell you to go to Bolivia over Medellin and Cartagena. You don't really have to worry about chicks harming you in Bolivia. Not saying it doesn't happen, but that's not something I was worried about while I was there. Cartagena, Colombia, I was worried about that. In Bolivia, I went on dates every day. Sure, the chicks weren't as attractive on average, but I still went on dates. You know, it didn't. It just felt like I could relax. I'm traveling to go somewhere to find peace. What are some places I found peace at? Asuncion is peaceful, very peaceful to the point you'll be bored out your mind. But Paraguay is very peaceful. Just don't expect to do nothing when you get there. Uruguay is very peaceful and racist at the same time. I remember they wouldn't let us into a few clubs because we were black. Like they were letting everybody else in there. There was no, oh, it's too full. But the group of 4 black guys, they just straight up told us, y'all not getting in. That happened in 2 or 3 clubs. So, but I still would go back there. I didn't worry about that shit. That's not everybody. That's just a certain few places like that. Uh, yeah, I experienced that in Uruguay. They wouldn't let us in the club. It started off just me and my homeboy. We literally stood out. We got to a point where we're like, we're just gonna stand here and see how long it takes this guy to speak to us. And we just stood there. And the guy was like, hey, the guy I was with was like, hey, you don't see us standing right here. He's like, oh, what's up? He's like, we've been waiting to get in. So he let us in, and we went to another club, and it was 2 other guys that joined us, 2 other black guys, and they were letting everybody else in, and he was like, no, y'all can't come in. And the guy I was with, he said, usually they let me in, but it's too many of us right now. 4 people can't get into a club. And he's letting 15, 20 other people walk past us and I'm out. Uruguay is good, though. It's good. That's just... Hello, Mom. Good to see you. Uruguay is good, though. It is what it is. Certain things I don't worry about because I can't change them. Best country with the Afro-Latinas is Brazil. If you want to find black women in Latin America, I would say go to Salvador Bahia. And second, go to Rio. Really, Bahia as a whole. Bahia is a state. I don't know Dr. Durden because at first he was just me and the other guy and he wouldn't let us in. Why haven't you stayed in Bogota? Because after that experience I had, I wasn't really interested in Colombia no more. Thank you, She, for the $2 super chat. PJ says, I mean, I'm going where what recommended Salvador Bahia in October after this trip to Colombia. I don't want to change my flight for Colombia too late. Don't change it. But you'll enjoy Salvador Bahia way more. Salvador Bahia is one of the most dangerous cities in South America. I lived there, never experienced crime. Not saying it doesn't happen, but again, it's not like it's one of those places where maybe the longer you stay, you'll become a victim of crime. But Colombia's like, no, I'm telling you, at some point, some shit's gonna happen to you. But I know people that have lived in Brazil for years. It may be once every 5 or 10 years they have an issue. But everybody I know that has lived in Brazil for at least 5 years has had a story where they came near to death, near-death experience. My first trip to Brazil, on my 6th day out of my 7-day trip, I had a near-death experience in Brazil. So, it happens. It's just Brazil's way more worth the risk. Not saying it would happen, but I'm just saying. If I had to risk it somewhere, I would go risk it there versus Colombia. Like, at least you don't have to worry about the chicks in Brazil fucking spiking your drink. Yes, that can happen anywhere, but it's just Colombia is just way too common. But it depends on where you're at in Brazil, right? From what I've heard, if you go to the south of Brazil, that's near Uruguay and Paraguay, it's nothing really to worry about. Now, if you're on the border towns, yeah, but Porto Alegre, Rio Grande do Sul, what is that? Santa Catarina, what is the other one? It's Santa something that's down there. And then they got the Dubai in Brazil. Those places, you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. And it's more expensive. Rio and Medellin are totally different. Yeah. There's not as many gringos in Rio as there are in Medellin. Like, you can literally go, you can be out a certain time of day in Rio and not see a foreigner. Now, you'll see a foreigner every day, but you can be out for an hour, 2 hours, and not see another foreigner. Yeah, Medellin, you can't get away from foreigners. I don't give a damn where you go in that city. You cannot get away from foreigners. He said it's too far for average people. Well, average people get average results. So, if you want above average results, go to Rio. Rio has a diversity. You can find black girls. You can find white girls with red hair. Like I'm talking about the gingers, you can find white girls with black hair. You can find girls with no tans, but most of them will have. There's everything in fucking Rio. You go to Medellin, it's white girls with black hair, and they all look like cousins. Like they all look alike. You've been saying check out Salvador Bahia for a minute, so I booked the 4th of October, but you said you want to hit the DR too after the States. What's the plan? I may go to the DR. I don't know, man. No rush to get to the DR. PJ should be a moderator. Thank you for the super chat as well. Yes, I do fuck with bikini tan lines. I love women with tan lines. DR is a waste of time for an experienced traveler like you. Yeah, Exactly, and that's how I felt about not about Cartagena, but Medellin. It was like I told you guys when I was down there. I was like, this shit feels so beginner stage travel. Like last time I was in Medellin in 2022, I was a beginner. I had only been to Rio twice, so it was interesting. Now it's not interesting. I've been too many places. Uruguay is a little Argentina. They just have friendlier people though. People in Uruguay are friendlier than the Argentines. But Uruguay is one of the safest and one of the most expensive countries in Latin America, if not the most expensive in South America. Wayne Thomas sent $5 on Cash App. He said, "Put this towards a $50,000 donation." So you still have 10,000 times more. Yes, the women in Uruguay are European. The girls you met on the street in your Uruguay vlogs were nice. Very nice. Very nice. I never really felt any sort of, I didn't feel any sort of like prejudiceness until we tried to get to the clubs. And that was when I went with a group, right? Because I went into the club. What's the club everybody told me to go to? I think it started with a J. But it was a club everybody told me to go to. I went by myself. And at first, the guy wasn't going to let me in, right? And he was like, "Wait, where are you from?" I said, "United States." He said, "Okay, go ahead and go in. You don't even have to pay." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I guess if I would have said Brazil or Uruguay, because they have black Uruguayans too in Montevideo, I guess he wasn't going to let me in. Stay away from Argentina is a low-key racist. It is racist. You won't experience it. More than likely, you won't experience it while you're there, but it is. Yeah, Uruguay was very interesting. I loved it there. My energy was on point the entire time I was in Uruguay. That was one of the best trips I've ever taken was Uruguay. Uruguay and Chile. Argentina is one of those places I say just go for yourself and see what it's like. I can tell you, I would tell you, I would tell you to go. But I'm also going to tell you just to find out for yourself. What about the northern part of Argentina near Paraguay? In Paraguay, I've met some Argentines that were friendlier than the ones I met in Buenos Aires. It's not that the people were rude in Buenos Aires. It's just that the people in Uruguay were friendlier than the ones in Buenos Aires. Africa again or no? Eventually. When is Chile round two? Chile round two will be, I don't know. It's cold and it won't warm back up until like September, November, I think. So I'm living in Paraguay because I'm about to get residency there. So what I'll do is I'll end up going back to Paraguay and then probably going to another country or going to Europe. And then when I get back, get an apartment in Paraguay for 6 months and jump back around South America again. Best place to be in South America during summer. If you're talking about South America summer, I would say Brazil. Brazil number one, number two, Chile, because technically I was there during summer. I was in Uruguay during summer. I would say Chile. Brazil and Chile. Now, If you're talking about American summer, which is June through August, your best bet is to be in like Salvador Bahia, Brazil, somewhere further north where it's gonna be warm most of the time. Why did I base out of Paraguay and not Kenya? Latin America, Kenya and Paraguay, like convenient places for me to be at. But Paraguay is just Latin America, man, kind of has Africa beat, right? Now that I've been to 8 countries, and how many cities have I been to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 cities in Latin America. No, 14 cities in Latin America, right? I've been to 14 cities, and I will tell you that from what I experienced in Africa to what I experienced in Latin America has Africa beat. We left Europe because it was too cold and it was expensive. It being expensive we could deal with, but the cold just made it like, okay, this shit isn't worth it right now. Nobody's outside and we're spending a lot of money. Not a good combo. Chile is expensive. When you're in Chile, expect to spend $15 to $25 per meal. Like, you're better off in Montevideo, Uruguay, and Santiago, Chile. Your best bet to save money is to cook. If you're in Argentina, at least the prices when I was there, it made no sense to cook. You can eat a full meal for $3. It doesn't make sense to cook when you can eat for that cheap. Yeah, if you're gonna travel in Europe for a month, you do have to be rich. Yeah. Like when people tell me, "Oh, I was in Europe, but I went to Germany, France, Switzerland, Sweden." I'm like, damn, you must have some money, because the train from Poland to Germany was like, I think it was as much as the flight was, if not more. It didn't make sense. Now it's cheap to travel around Europe. Like uh, you can travel from Lisbon, Portugal, to Bucharest, Romania, which is the eastern side of the continent to the west coast of the continent, for $80. That's cheap. When you compare that to Latin America, if you want to go from Bogota to Buenos Aires, it's not gonna be that cheap. It's gonna be at least like $400 or $500, right? At least last time I checked. But if you want to go to Africa, you finna spend more on the flight than your damn Airbnb. That's what's crazy about Africa. If you want to go to and I paid for this. If you want to go from Dakar, Senegal, to uh, to Nairobi, Kenya, you're gonna spend almost $900. Robert Shobes sent $10 for 34 countries in. How many for you? I'm at number 22. If you're including the United States, I'm at 22. Thank you for the cash app. What was your super chat? Oh, you just sent it. Hold on. Opinion on South Brazil, Uruguay, Buenos Aires area. Los Angeles type of weather and clean streets like Europe. Valparaiso and Santiago is too isolated. Gio for sure. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Number one, I haven't been to the south of Brazil, but I have been to Uruguay and Buenos Aires. But I heard the south of Brazil is just like those. Buenos Aires and Uruguay met European infrastructure standards. Fast internet, a working subway system in Buenos Aires, a working train system, a working bus system. I didn't see a subway in Montevideo, but Montevideo Montevideo was literally like being back in Texas when you would not believe you were in South America because it's so developed there. Like it is. Everybody has electric cars. The streets are clean. The internet is super fast. It's expensive. The malls are nice. A lot of the people there have money, at least in that city. Um, but if I had to pick Buenos Aires or Uruguay, I think I'd pick Uruguay because they have the same things. It's just the girls in Uruguay are prettier. So the only real difference I've noticed between them is the girls. And so I would go with Uruguay. Los Angeles type weather and clean streets like Europe. They both have clean streets. Yeah. Clean streets, yeah. I haven't been to Valparaiso in Chile, but Santiago, was it too isolated? No. There's a lot of foreigners in Santiago. You'll see a lot of Europeans, a lot of other South Americans. I met a Venezuelan, and she actually told me to visit Venezuela. Like, she recommended that I go to Venezuela. I've seen Rami Travel went to Venezuela, and he was recording with no issues. Which doesn't mean that there won't be an issue, but from what people make it seem like, if you go, like, I knew a guy that went to Venezuela, and he was talking about how there was no food, and people had to take their tires off their wheels off their cars at every night so people wouldn't steal them. It didn't. It looked like it didn't really look like that. It looked like he was somewhere in Colombia. Can you rank, in your opinion, what your racial ethnicity of women you like? Yeah, Rami Travels, he made Venezuela look like any other place I've been to. Like, it looked just as dangerous as Nairobi. Or let me rephrase it. It looked just as dangerous as Chile, where it is dangerous, but it all depends on where you at and what you look like. And he didn't look like he was dressed like no bum either. He was dressed fairly decent, and I didn't see anybody watching him. That. Can you rank your opinion on racial? Okay, so number one is black. I love Afro Latinas and African women primarily, or let's say African descent primarily. Then we'll go with Latinas like the mestizas and the anybody that's Spanish or Portuguese mixed with Native American. Then we'll go with white, and then Asian last. I seen a guy approach an Asian woman, and I'm just, for me, it would just be a fetish, right? Like, okay, I just want to smash just to say that I did it. And that's what it was like when I was in Thailand. Like, it's like I won't, I had a chick tell me, like, oh, like, where would you be without me? I was like, yeah, trust me, you'll never be my woman. Trust me, I can guarantee you that you'll never be my woman. Mestizas, Latinas are better than Afro. It depends on where you at. So if you're talking about uh, Afro Latinas are better than mestizas in Cali, Colombia, or Salvador Bahia, I would disagree. But if we're talking Montevideo, Uruguay, or Lima, Peru, you are better off dating a mestiza than a black girl. We stay in Uganda long term. No. Thank you, Cool Cat, for the $2 super chat. No, I would not. He said savage with the Asian chick. Yeah, I'm not crazy about Asian chicks. You put black women last for looks? I don't know, man. I don't know about that one. I think Afro Latinas, or let's say African descent women and mestizas have the best looks in the world. It's just I'm black, so I'm gonna probably be more likely to drift towards my own kind than the mestizas. But I was just with a mestiza this morning, so I like them too. She liked me too. The mix is the best. Yes, it is. That's why I said Afro Latinas. I like them a lot. Mixed black, different. Yes, they're not the same. Yeah, Afro Latinas, like black American women and Afro Latinas are not the same. They are not the same. A mestiza is a Native American mixed with Portuguese and Spanish. That's what I said. Mestizos is European and Native, yeah. Portuguese and Spanish. In specific, the Latin American natives. Because I think if the Portuguese and the Spanish would have colonized North America, which they did, well, Spanish did, the mix wouldn't look the same. Like if the Spanish were to mix with the Cherokees, I don't think they would look the same as when they mix with the Incans and the Pisces and all that. And the Aztecs and Mayans, yeah, those people have a similar look. The Native Americans in South America weren't the same. Even the ones in Brazil look completely different. What was it? It was the Tupi or the TP people were in Brazil. When they mix with the Portuguese, they don't look the same either. Afro Latinas have a temper. Robert Shobe sent $5 on Cash App. What are you looking forward to in Europe? I'm looking forward to Greece, Turkey, Portugal, and Germany. Those are my 4 must-visit countries. Like I won't die without seeing those countries. Anything Afro got an attitude? No, it don't. No, it doesn't. I mean, the black chicks I met in Salvador Bahia did not have an attitude. I think out of the many I knew, maybe one. Like, it's not the same, right? I never argued with them. A woman disagreeing with you is not her being just a total bitch. Like, my girlfriend or whoever I'm dealing with has a right to have an opinion. That don't mean they run my life, but they have the right to have an opinion. I don't want a yes woman. I need some real feedback from whoever I'm dealing with. Yeah, most of the Afro Latinos are calm. Now, one thing I wish I would have brought with me was mate. I didn't. It's still in Paraguay. I left it there. What's horrible to watch? It's getting kind of cool here at nighttime in Lima too. You wear your watch out in public. Yeah, I've never had any issues wearing my watch either. And if it came to the shit, I just get my watch up. I don't form connections with materials enough. Let's see how, how many people have watched the video on Instagram now. Just showing love, homie. Keep bossing. Thank you, Suave Prince, for the $5 super chat. You got 400 likes, 167 comments, 18.9 thousand views. The last interview with the girl got 34,000. 854 on the girl that said it looked like her brother. That was doing pretty good. Once I finish this cigar, we'll get off the live for a minute. Maybe. He said yerba mate is like drinking vitamins with a caffeine rush. It gives me a long-lasting focus, unlike coffee. Yeah, coffee lasts like 1 hour, and then it makes you, for me, it makes me feel like shit once it wears off. Like I feel like just exhausted. The mate just stops working. Like you just don't feel it anymore when it wears off. Am I going out tonight? Absolutely not. I mean, I can. It's just the thing is, I've already seen everything. It seems like there's not too many new places I can go. And plus, I've already been getting a lot of action, so I'm not really interested in going out to meet women. Arthur Will sent $5 for that nasty looking liquid fish shake. Thank you. Actually, it looked nasty, and I thought it would be nasty. But whatever ingredients they put in there, it tastes like they had some vinegar in there too. It made it taste really, really good. Like I was able to consume it pretty fast. Yeah, I did eat a rat. Basically, it was a guinea pig, but the shit might as well have been a rat. Tastes like a rat. I've never ate a rat, but if it tasted like what you'd expect a rat to taste like. The way how slimy the meat was, and yeah, it was very much like a rat. The cigar is working. Thing is, I'll eat any food though. I'll eat a rat. I know in the Middle East somewhere they eat monkey brains. I'll eat that too. It's in my car, it's in my clothes. I don't know what it is. What is it? It's somewhere I seen somewhere in the Middle East on the Discovery Channel. Like that was like 15 years ago when I saw that. They were eating monkeys' brains. No, I've never ate a squirrel, raccoon, or snake, but I'm pretty sure if you want to eat a raccoon or a squirrel, you need to go to the United States. There's plenty of hillbillies and country black folks that'll show you that. My dad did it. I really, really like this cigar. There's not too many Peruvian cigars I like, but this one I do like. But the food here in Lima is so dense, you only need to eat one time. I love the food here. Is it better than Tanzania? No, but I love it. I just paid for my bag, so I had an option, right? I spent $750 for a plane ticket from here to Dallas and then Dallas back to Paraguay. I could have flown American for like an extra $200. And I was like, oh, it's cheaper. I bought my bags with these two other airlines, and I still spent $900 after I bought the bags. And I could have just caught a flight with American. Should have did that. But I will tell you this, after this trip, all my flights will be bought weeks, if not months in advance. Which they already started that, right? Because I bought my flight back to Dallas 2 weeks, 3 weeks in advance. Usually I buy it 2 days in advance. Or next day. So wherever I'm going to after Paraguay, I'll be buying that ticket while I'm in Dallas. We'll figure that out where I go next. I would do an acting role in a music video. I've done commercials before. A commercial. The gyms here are good. You need to go to Smart Fit. Smart Fit does not have the best equipment, nor does it have the amount of equipment that's convenient. But if you want to go where all the girls are at, Smart Fit is where you want to go. Yeah, because a flight is the most expensive, right? Like a flight for 1 month from now could be $80. If you wait until a week before, it'd be fucking $400 or $500. It's crazy. It should be illegal for them to do that shit. What, the price of gas went up 4 times for the flight? Like what is making the price fluctuate? They're just doing that strictly off of demand and scarcity. Frequent flyer miles. I have no flyer miles because I'm always on a different airline. Like the airline I'm flying back to Dallas, I've never flown on before. So you gotta remember, I've been on damn near every continent except for Australia, and Antarctica doesn't count. But I've been on every continent except Australia, so I'm always on a different airline. American, Qatar. I've been on Spirit. I've been on Frontier. I've never been on Delta. I've been on UAE. I've been on Kenya Airways, South African Airways, Tanzanian Airways, whatever the one in Thailand is with the red. I've been on Cambodia Airways. I rode the Filipino airline before. And a few others in West Africa. I rode the Paraguayan Airways. I rode the Argentina. Um, I've flown on Latin America. I've flown on almost every one. Copa. I've flown on Copa. Yeah, I've flown on Copa a couple times. Actually, I flew Copa going to Colombia. I hate Copa Airways. It's ghetto as hell. I heard the word nigga so many times on Copa Airways, I thought I was back in Texas. Kaheem Hiller sent $50 for, I really like your work ethic. You are inspiring. Thank you for noticing my work ethic. It takes because after this live stream, I still have to edit this course for you guys to learn how to use Bumble, Tinder, and Instagram. It's done being edited. I just got to go back. The audio was kind of messed up because of the shitty internet here in Peru. The audio was kind of staticky. And I don't want people to be like, oh, I spent all this money, and then, his word is choppy. I've been on Ethiopia too. I forgot about that. I've been on them 3 or 4 times. I'm on Patreon. I need that guide. Don't worry, it should be out probably tomorrow. I just uploaded a video on Patreon. Like, I just clicked publish just now. So if you're on Patreon after this live stream, make sure you go check it out. One thing Lima has done for my Patreon is this really built up my Patreon. Like, I'm getting enough dates and going out enough. Hell, I forgot in Bolivia I could have did the same thing, but I wasn't thinking I wanted to hear just me having hookup stories. But Marty says, Austin, you need to make Lima your base, and you are starting to build up a network faster, and the hostess will plug you with the right people, I'm sure. Yeah, I told her I'd be back. She was like, will it be 2 years? I was like, no, it'll be way before then. What I'm thinking is I might come back here after Paraguay. Or I may go, I never know where I'm going to go next. But this is definitely a place I come back to. Like you said, I am building a circle of people. It's not really that hard to meet people here. The dating apps are shit for me here, though. Like, I could have never used Tinder, and the only difference is I wouldn't have met one girl. Big deal. J65 said, Austin, I'll be welcoming you when you come to Europe this summer. I'm going to book a consultation tomorrow. Thank you very much. I would appreciate that welcome, and I appreciate you booking a consultation. The more I travel, the stronger my consultations get. Hostess wants you to be in her circle for sure. You are unique to her, and y'all both speak English. Together, we would do very well with this social media shit. The people love her. She has the right energy. She's friendly to me. She's married, so there's no, like, I'm going to pretend I like Austin just to use him. You know those other girls, the dumb shit they were doing, trying to use me. She doesn't really have that motive. And if she does, whatever, because I got my most viewed video with her, so who gives a damn? I'm benefiting more. But anyway, she's a wealth of knowledge when it comes to Peru. So yeah, she has the perfect look to do this. But Lima's very calm. It's a calm city. It's not overrun by beautiful women, so you won't be distracted too much being here. It's not dangerous, at least for the time I've been here. The girl I was with Monday night told me that she got robbed at gunpoint at her front door. Luckily, they only took her phone. Luckily, they didn't rape her or no shit like that, but she said that happened. So, it happens. But, you know, some ninjas would mess that up trying to make unwanted passes at her. Yeah, and exactly, right? That's why I'm glad I've already slept with enough beautiful women, and I really have an abundance mindset now, right? So when I come in, just because she's beautiful doesn't mean I'm gonna try to get at her. So that makes it easier for us to do content, because I'm not trying to do as many people like, oh, you're messing with a married woman. Listen to the interview questions I asked her. I really didn't ask her nothing. Not a lot of action with mestizos in Peru. No, you do. Since I've been here, half of the chicks I've been with are mestizo. Yeah, I did keep her professional. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't ask, because again, I'm at a point now, man. I'm trying to hit this 100K. I'm trying to get my Instagram following up. I don't have time to be blowing opportunities trying to get some pussy. So, and again, she can introduce me to more women, which she did. She introduced me to her niece. I was trying to see her niece today. I probably still could. I could shoot her a DM, but her niece is not responding in an interested manner. Like, it's not that she's pushing me off, but she's not pursuing, right? I've already messaged her. I've already told her what I wanted. I was like, I leave in a couple days. Because she's like, I hope you enjoyed my country. I was like, yeah, it would be even better if we got to spend some time together before I left. That was all I needed to say. The ball is in her court now. So if you don't do that, then, And her niece is actually like, I give her like an 8 or a 9. She's pretty. I'm only going to try one time. But me knowing her, the other girl, she can still put some more pressure. Like, have you met my niece? No, she didn't respond. She could put some pressure on her about it. Y'all think I should message her niece again or no? Rodney Wood sent $10 as a super chat. Thank you very much for the super chat. He said, so one time a chick never got a second date. No, I don't do second dates. I have the stick that I'm smoking is it's a Peruvian San Martin Liberator, and it's a torpedo. If you come to Peru, I recommend this cigar. He said, no, like you said, ball is in her court. Yeah, it is in her court. No, there's nothing red on the wall behind me. No, I don't do second dates. I don't do second dates. Yeah, if I don't get a second date, if you kiss me, then we can do a second. If you're like a 6 and we don't smash first date, I'm not pursuing you again. Unless if you reach out, and then I'll just be like, hey, we can drink some wine at the house. I'm not going out of my way. No. I still got the chick from the restaurant. She reached out to me. Let me see if the chick with the car want to come back. She was supposed to. Yeah, I know the hate is real in the United States, but tickets bought. We can't worry about it. Can't worry about it. So about a traveling humidor. So I actually might go get, because all I got is this, right? I actually might go get this right now. All I have is this little case to carry cigars in, which is great to build a bad habit, right? Like you give somebody a device to walk around with tobacco. But I was at the place a minute ago, and there was literally a um, a humidor that was shaped like a cylinder, and it looked like it might be able to hold 3 or 4 cigars in there. And it had a humidor thermometer on it, so it was like you said, a traveling humidor. I had never seen that, so I think after this live stream, I might go back and get that. And I'm talking to Rodney Woods. It was, I think it was 294 sold. How much is 294 sold? Like $75. That's actually very expensive for that. Which I smoke enough to invest that, but I mean, right now. Rodney Woods sent another $10 on Super Chat. He said, "Go get it." Yeah, I would get it, but man, it's $75. It wasn't cheap. It would be good because I smoke enough for it. It is worth it. Yeah, it would be worth it. Let me see how many cash apps I got. Let's see if we could get it. $14 in cash apps. Now, if we can get that to $200, then I'll go get it. But financially, it wouldn't be the best decision to spend more than 75%, I think, of my cash apps on a device that's not going to come with cigars. You should be white label branding your cigars. That's what I was going to go to Nicaragua for. You need a traveling style guide listing the cigars and stuff you use. Let me write that down. Because there is a certain style. Travel styling guide for cigars and stuff I use. For example, like I have a laptop bag. If you're traveling, most of us that are traveling and we're going to be going for long periods of time, work online. That being said, you need a good travel bag that, not like the one I had in Ghana that looked like a fucking purse. I hated walking around my laptop with that bag because it looked like I was holding a purse. The one I have now has a short handle, so it looks like I'm carrying a laptop bag. That you need, like we said, the travel humidor. That's better than walking around with cigars in your hand. And it was beautiful, very sleek look. Very, very sleek look. Bourbon Scotch does pair well with cigars. I'm allergic to whiskey. I'm allergic to anything that's distilled in oak. So even some wines do that. Well, wines do that. They have to have no sulfates. Let me see what else I got. You guys need Nelvin Chuma's number. You guys need a leather backpack. I have a leather backpack in the States. I might go pick that up when I get back. I have a brown leather backpack that I bought from Wilson's Leather back in 2017. It's been like 150 bucks, I think. And I know what you're talking about, Marty, that carry-on that expands really big. Yeah. And the good thing about carry-ons is most of the time they're not gonna weigh it. Like I've been to 41 cities and I think I've had them weigh my carry-on twice. That's excluding the times that I've repeatedly went to those cities like Nairobi, Paraguay, Asuncion, Paraguay, Salvador, Rio. I've been to those cities more than one time. 100-year warranty from Texas is what Rodney Wood says. You're talking about I guess I could pick one up. I don't have to pick it up here. I guess I could pick it up in the States too. Find a nice cigar lounge in Dallas somewhere. Fatal, what are you talking about? Oh, you talking about Floyd? I told Floyd about. I was saying this yesterday. If you guys want to build a YouTube audience, you have to let people talk shit. Believe it or not, some comments I'm in the gym and I'm cursing out loud because some people just get on my damn nerves with these comments they leave. But that keeps my audience engaged. People see other people saying dumb stuff and they want to go respond. Then they share the video, whatever it is. Hola. They share the video, whatever it is, with people that they know, like, hey, look how stupid these people are in his comments. I know I do that with YouTube shorts. I'll find a funny short and people be mocking what they saw in the short. I'll be like, hey, y'all, look at this. So you got to do that. I would say MMA is better than lifting weights, boxing, fighting sports, basically, or whatever you call them. Self-defense, whatever the hell you call it, Muay Thai, stuff like that. It is better than lifting weights because it's all cardio, but you're gonna get ripped doing that shit. And you learn how to fight professionally. So you get in shape and you can whoop somebody's ass. If you lift weights, you basically just getting strong and big and cut, but you're not getting that I can whoop your ass at the same time benefit. Surprisingly, in South America and Asia and Africa, I didn't have a hard time finding those gyms that do combat sports. Cigars are a hobby. Cause man, I was at the cigar lounge, man, and I like right now I'm using this ashtray. This is my traveling ashtray. It weighs less than a pound. It's sleek. I can fit it in my pocket. But they had one, man, that was beautiful. I had if you guys have been watching me long enough, I had a Taurus Bull ashtray that I bought in Ghana. I think it was like 50 bucks. It was all gold. It's still at my old apartment in Kenya. I have the owner holding on to it. Should have left it at Troy's house, but they're holding on to it. And it was beautiful, but it's too big. It weighed like 2 pounds, 3 pounds. So you have to take that into account when you're putting it in your check bag. Like this ashtray is gonna add weight versus this one I got in my pocket. I put that in my carry-on in my computer bag, and they're not weighing those. Plus, the only time you buy big ashtrays is when you're stationary. Like that Bull ashtray I bought because I was in Kenya for 3 months. And if I was gonna be smoking a cigar with somebody, we could both use it at the same time. But other than that, you only need this one I'm using right now. Plasencia cigars are one of the best cigars I've smoked. I believe those are out of Nicaragua too. I was in Ghana. Ghana has amazing cigar options. Like the cigar lounge there are very diverse with what they have, except for one. They only had Cuban. I don't like Cubans, but they had the Fuego Palencias. They had a silver one. They had like 10 different Palencias, and man, those are worth the $20 that they charge. I usually like to pay $10 for my cigars, but the Plasencias I'll pay $25 for. I won't pay $25 for a Cuban unless if that's all they got. I don't Cubans are not worth the money, man. Like the premium that they're charging, you can get way better tobacco out of Nicaragua or the DR for half the price. It's sometimes even a third of the price. Like this is a Nicaraguan right here I have too. They had it on discount because it's beat up, but it still smokes. They're usually $25. I got it for 12. Cubans are just he said go ahead and keep expanding your palate. Yeah, man, I've tried like man, I have to have tried at least 200 different types of cigars now. Cause you gotta think about it, like the Olivia, whatever is the Nicaraguan ones. Those are my favorites. I've tried the Maduro, I've tried the medium, I've tried the short story version, I've tried the small little singles, the little ones you can smoke in 10 minutes. I've tried those. I've tried the Churchills. I've tried the the box cut full bodies, the box cut Churchills. One cigar can have like 10 different variations. So I know for a fact I've tried at least 200 because I remember at one point I made it a point that like when I find a place that has a large variety like Ghana or Kenya or anywhere in Eastern Europe, I will try it. I won't smoke the same cigar every day. I will make it a point to try at least 1 or 2 new cigars. I've even tried Brazilian cigars. I love Brazilian cigars. Colombian cigars, they're okay. Let's just say that they're okay. The best cigars that I've had in the world are from Mozambique, Nicaragua, Honduras, the DR, and Brazil. Peru, they're okay. They're good. Like they're good. They're like Cubans. Like, okay, if they're there, I'll smoke it. If not, then whatever. But people that like Cubans usually have not tried the other cigars. One thing I try to tell people is Cuban cigars are literally just famous and expensive. Number one, because they got all those tariffs and stuff like that, or whatever that was called, the blockade that the United States put on them. That's why they're expensive. And Fidel Castro and the other guy, Che Guevara, whatever his name was, they made Cuban cigars famous. Other than that, there's not really nothing special about them. Yes, and cigar lounges are good places to meet. Like, you gotta think about me, right? I smoke cigars on the daily. If I find a good cigar lounge, I'll go in there and smoke. So if somebody bumps into me, they have a marketing opportunity because, oh, I got this product. Can we market it on your channel? Like, that's a good place to network. Then I find a sponsorship the same way. Cigars are very good places to market. It's better than going to places where, like, it's better. You have a better chance of networking at a cigar lounge as opposed to a weed dispensary or a cigarette shop. Like, you're not the high net worth individuals are more likely going to be at the cigar lounge. Not saying that people that smoke weed or cigarettes are not high net worth, but let's just be honest. In golf, yeah. I've been saying I need to practice. I mean, I need to start golfing. I was gonna do that in Nairobi, but golfing is a good place to meet politicians and shit like that. You combine the two, cigars and golfing, you'll meet a lot of people. A lot of people. Now, if Cuban cigars were the same price as Nicaraguan, I wouldn't really talk so bad about them. I mean, I'm not talking bad about them, but I would just see them as a better version of Colombian or Peruvian cigars, where they're like they're good. They're good. Like they do have a smooth smoke. You know, they do make you feel very tranquil to write home about. He said you could supply the hostess restaurant with some cigars. Yeah, that's another thing, right? So I have plenty of dudes that watch me that smoke cigars. I could go to her place, use her face and her energy while at the same time promoting her restaurant. Well, I guess her husband's restaurant. Do they make their own good whiskey there? I haven't seen any whiskey from Peru. Another good place to network is at horse races. I've met some very good people at horse races in Kenya. Polo games, stuff like that. Horse races, polo games, hockey. Sports that people think are boring is where the high net worth individuals are at. I'm telling you, golf, hockey, and horse games. People be betting $50,000 on those horses and shit like that. The what's the stuff B Dub was talking about? The what is it? The Formula One? Those races. Some of those races are $4,000 to get into for the basic tickets. For the basic, that's not excluding the people that's sitting in a box or something like that. Cricket, that too. White people sports, yeah, basically. And then you got high class escorts, like Marty is saying. You got either upscale gold diggers or high class escorts that are probably gonna be $500 an hour. Not telling you guys to do that. I'm just throwing some facts out there. I'm getting to the end of the cigar where I gotta keep spitting and shit. See, I can talk better when I'm not drinking, which I am back drinking, but when I just smoke, it's way better. But it all depends on what you're smoking too. I'm in Lima. He said $500 for cheeks is wild. Well, it's different. It's different whenever you make $500 an hour. Like, it's levels to life, right? So the chicks that are charging you $500 up an hour aren't gonna put scopolamine in your drink. They like Kevin Samuels used to say, those type of women be on fucking payrolls for politicians. Tennis games are good places. Yeah, any sport that's not like football, yes, you can meet high value people there, but you can meet mostly average people there. Basketball, football, baseball, you can find people there with money, but you're better off going to tennis, golf, Formula One, NASCAR, cricket. Do I let it crust? What do you mean? In horse games. Will I bring back business and everyday life songs? What do you mean? There are high value people. We know that. Because I remember when they had the Super Bowl, a ticket was 40 grand and it was getting sold out. I'm not saying it's not, but here's what you don't see. When you could check this out. People are not getting into fights outside of the stadium at a cricket game or at a horse racing game. They're not doing that. That's why I say the people that do attend horse races, the majority of them will be people you want to network with. You don't want to network with everybody at the Cowboys game. There's people you can network with, but everybody there is not worth networking. So the crowd is completely different. Yeah, there's no Pookies. And trust me, if you try to fight at a damn Formula One race or a something like that, you'll get in jail very fast, and you might get your ass beat. Expensive gyms is good for networking too. So I used to go to Equinox when I was living in the States. I went to Equinox for a year. It's $200 a month to go there. Oh, it's expensive. Pilates sessions are $100 to go there. Most Pilates sessions are $30, I think. But it was $100 a session there. You got to think about who is going to be at a gym where they could afford $200 a month. And that was at Equinox. That was the cheapest. I remember seeing a plan there that was like $500 and $600 a month. The only reason I went there was because I had what was that card? I had a card that gave me a discount to go there because I had the card. A founder's card. I had a founder's card. It gives you discounts to go to like upscale places. And Equinox Gym was one of those. The discount only made it $160 a month. So I was still coming out of cash. Can you find high value people at Fitness Connection? Yeah. I wouldn't advise you to go there looking for that. You got to think about the gym Mark Cuban goes. I seen him at a gym in Dallas before, in Knox Henderson. He's not going to Lifetime. He's not going to Fitness Connection or Planet Fitness. You got to think famous people and rich people want to be safe. So they're going to spend top dollar to be in places that everybody else will not be at except for people like them. So if I was to move back to the States, which I won't, if I was, I would go to Equinox. Yeah, Mark Cuban. He was at a gym. I seen a video of him on Instagram at a couple times at this one gym in Dallas in Knox Henderson. But when I'm in Paraguay, the Fitness Connection is $25. The baddest chicks in Paraguay are at this other gym called Zona Fit. It's $65, $70 a month to be there. And people are like, man, that's more than I pay in the States. But again, all those chicks have cars. All those chicks they're not in Paraguay living like shit. That doesn't mean the chicks at SmartFit are. But SmartFit is basically the Planet Fitness or the 24-hour fitness of South America. It's a gym everybody almost can afford. Every foreigner can afford it, and anybody that's in the middle class in these countries can afford it. I've dated some chicks from the Zona Fit. Completely different experience than the ones that didn't have the Zona Fit membership. I still had to pay for the date, but because that's expected, that's the culture, but the chicks weren't starving. Some of those chicks are escorts, yeah, but it's easy. Escorts don't waste time, especially high scale escorts. They're gonna get to that pretty quick. You'll find out you won't be talking to them for months and months and then figure out they're an escort. You gotta think about what when you go to cigar lounges to network, you gotta think about those are people that want to enjoy tobacco with the least amount of health disadvantages. The most you'll get from a cigar is, and I'm not an expert, but I'm just telling you, the most you'll get from a cigar is oral cancer. And then it was only like 2% of people that smoke cigars get oral cancer. And that can be minimized by brushing your teeth immediately. Brushing your teeth and using mouthwash can minimize the effect of that. You won't see me at Planet Fitness in the States. Not because of the crowd, but because they don't even have regular bench press. Like everything is a Smith machine. My workout routine is too advanced to be honest. That's like a beginner or a lady in her fucking 80s. But I'll do that. Next country I go to, maybe in Paraguay, I'll join a golf club and I'll talk about my new network and what the experience is like being at a golf club. But yeah, you guys, I finished the cigar. I'm gonna do some work really quick. I appreciate you guys coming through. I love you guys. Thank you guys for the donations.